This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 605. Mindful Parenting, How to Treat Your Children as People, Not Children. And 4 Simple Tips for Raising Mindful Children, both by Ilan and Guy Ferdman of mindbender.co. Hello and happy Friday to everyone. I am your new narrator on Optimal Relationships Daily and also host of the Optimal Living Advice podcast, Greg Audino, bringing you another episode that helps you have good and healthy relationships. And by the way, if your interest goes beyond the podcast, you can get weekly quotes and more on personal development by signing up for our fun newsletter at oldpodcast.com. Now, today's episode covers 2 short posts from mindbender.co on responsible and mindful parenting. So, let's get into it and start optimizing your life. Mindful Parenting, How to Treat Your Children as People, Not Children, by Ilan and Guy Ferdman of mindbender.co. Choosing the route of mindful parenting is far from the traditional style of the do it because I said so approach. Treating children as inferior to adults is the foundation of this older and, dare we say, outdated mindset. Just like anything else in life, there's room for evolution and improvement on the front of child rearing. See Isabel Hunt's podcast episode where she discusses treating children as people. Shifting the dynamics of parenting from being authoritarian to a more mindful approach supports children in growing into better individuals and develops a stable parent-child relationship. Here are 4 steps to mindful parenting that help you treat your children as more than just a child. Number 1. Be mindful to not invalidate your child's feelings. A mood shift, temper tantrum, obnoxious shouting, or endless crying can put the most patient parent at their wit's end. It's easy for a parent to feel like the victim of their child's seemingly unvalidated outburst. "What's wrong with you?" is often the question a parent might lead with. To the child, this can feel terribly hurtful, and they may go through life feeling like something is wrong with them. Instead, consider asking, "What do you need?" This question conveys the acknowledgement of their experience, rather than dismissing it as something that is wrong and that they have to deal with on their own. Acknowledging their feelings, no matter how crazy their emotions are, may help them feel safer. Sometimes that sense of safety is all they need. Number 2. Reassure the child. Building upon the previous suggestion, the sense of safety that envelops a person, especially a child, is an essential component of one's growth. A sense of security guards a child against negative pressures that are seen throughout life. Through this safety, the opportunity for them to mature in other areas of life, like confidence, problem-solving, communication, etc., is provided with a solid foundation. Though this style of conscious parenting, the parent can support the child by being present with them and provide reassurance whenever they voice out their concerns. If the question, "What are you so scared of?" has been in the communication with you and your child, consider removing it and opting to guide them through their feelings so that they have better tools to deal with their triggers. A simple hug may be all it takes. Number 3. Highlight gifts and talents. In mindful parenting, it's essential that the parents recognize a child's gifts and talents and help them nurture these traits as they grow. This recognition will contribute to higher self-esteem as they get older. An important aspect of this is to harness what the child enjoys and is good at versus what the parent wants or believes is best for the child. Forcing kids to excel at sports or hobbies that they don't enjoy will have an adverse effect on their growth. Number 4. Help them find purpose. This purpose can change and evolve and doesn't need to stick to one defined lane, but can be many different things. The key aspect here is to ignite a passion for something that encourages their growth as a person. Give them the freedom to dream as big or as little as they choose, and help them fuel that dream continuously. 4 Simple Tips for Raising Mindful Children, also by Ilan and Guy Ferdman of mindbender.co. Parenting can be challenging at times, and mindful parenting, or conscious parenting, can feel like it is adding more to your already full plate. It's a process that requires you as a parent to pause before reacting, and then choosing to show up with a supportive approach in an effort to raise mindful children. This kind of patience and respect towards your children gives them a foundation of safety and support that allows them to thrive as teens and adults. The following are 4 simple tips you can follow to raising mindful children. Number 1. Stay present with their needs. Being mindful of your children's present circumstances can help you give them what they need to help them grow into the best versions of themselves. Pay attention to their needs in the present moment instead of putting them off for another day. If you feel they're making mistakes or shortcomings, What can you offer them in support of improving those areas? Address these concerns as they come up in a respectful way to avoid building unhealthy habits or falling behind. Number 2, listen to your children. As much as your children need to listen to you, you must also do the same thing for them. Kids want to be heard and they have lots of opinions to share. Listening to your children will help you move more easily and naturally into conscious parenting. When you know who your children are, how they feel, and how they view the world, you are better able to provide them with everything they need. Focus on what your children talk about and observe how they react. Encourage their unique interests by allowing them to share openly about things that excite them. Listening to understand better and not just to reply or hand out solutions will also tighten the bond with your child. Number 3, meditate in front of your children. Raising mindful children means to practice what you preach. The best way for kids to learn anything is to watch their parents make a habit out of it. As a parent, especially if it's your first time, being able to deeply connect with yourself will help you know yourself better to more clearly see how you can improve. Meditation gives you a break to renew your thoughts and gain insights on how you can approach daily challenges. Meditating can also help you relax, something that's needed more than ever in our extra-stimulated culture. Because you'll feel more relaxed, you'll naturally invite more positive and patient interaction with your children. Number 4, talk about gratitude before bedtime. Conscious parenting can't exist without practicing gratitude. In your home, make a habit of talking about something you are grateful for each day so that your kids can make gratitude a normal part of their lives too. By practicing gratitude, your children gain the habit of noticing the simplest things around them and having an appreciation for it. This allows them to grow into more self-aware and compassionate adults. Conscious parenting doesn't have a secret weapon or an instruction manual that you can refer to if you feel a little off track. It's a full-time job that doesn't come with paid vacation. However, by becoming a conscious parent, you'll open yourself and your mindful children up to different perspectives and realizations about the world and the people around you. You just listened to the posts, plural, titled Mindful Parenting, How to Treat Your Children as People, Not Children, and 4 Simple Tips for Raising Mindful Children, both by Ilan and Guy Ferdman of mindbender.co. Thank you to the Ferdman brothers for sharing these awesome tips on conscious parenting. Never hurt anyone to have some bullet points to break things up a little bit too. Yeah, listening to your kids and taking a mindful approach to parenting will help you to harvest that same sense of self-awareness, which is invaluable at a young age. Now, as a male, and I don't want to play favorites here, but I would suggest that these tips laid out today are of particular importance to young boys, given how common it is to rush them into these outdated versions of masculinity and not giving them space for their feelings, which, as we know, can easily lead to angry adult men. Of course, it's not to say that any child can't be taught resilience as well, but helping children to understand and explore their feelings as opposed to judge them is a really great way of, frankly, avoiding childhood trauma that ends up having lifelong implications. So, thanks again to the Ferdman brothers for giving us a roadmap on something that's really important. And with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap up for the week, the first week of 2020, that is. Hope you're all off to a good start this year, and without too many regrets about whatever nonsense you got into on New Year's Eve. I'll see you all again next week with more insightful relationship content where your optimal life awaits.